Hi everyone, and welcome to Nokia's Algorithm World 2022. It lasted 1 day last year, doubled to 2 days this year, and if we follow the same pattern from now on, we can look forward to Algorithm World 2030 being 512 days long. There is so much to fit into this event that it's hard to know where to start. So let's just zoom out and look at the state of digitalization in the US. By any realistic measure, things are looking pretty good. The US has about 4% of the world's population, but about 20% of the world's total mobile capex. It took over 3 years for the big US telcos to each cover 200 million people with 4G. It took less than 2/3 of that time, just 22 months, for them to do the same with 5G. And federal and state governments have committed almost $100 billion to build networks in areas where connectivity is either slow or non-existent. Outside the world of telecoms, American industry has become one of the most dynamic digital laboratories in the world. The US spends more money on R&D than any other nation, and the total is rising. It was $664 billion in 2020, with $679 billion forecasted for 2022. Look at the metaverse, from Meta to Apple and Nvidia to Niantic. The biggest players in early metaverse technologies are almost all based right here in the US. And robotics. The data shows around 9,000 robots worth well over $500 million were sold in the United States during the first quarter of this year, compared to around 6,400 robots during the same period in 2021. That continues the long-term upwards trend that you can see on the screen. And as these technologies roll out, so does one of their key components, AI. Paul Graham, co-founder of the startup accelerator Y Combinator, knows a thing or two about high-growth businesses. And earlier this year, he said AI was the single biggest technical trend he had noticed in startups recently. The data is even more dramatic. A recent study found that AI adoption is continually increasing and becoming easier to access, powered by consistent investment and development. The study cited some pretty spectacular statistics. You can see a few on the screen, but my personal favorite is this. There were 30 times as many AI-related patents filed in 2021 as there were in 2015. That means a CAGR of 76.9%. And that's good news for all of us. And I don't mean all of us in this room or all of us in telecoms. I mean everyone. From a purely bottom line point of view, that same study showed that 67% of respondents reported a revenue increase via AI adoption, and 79% reported a cost decrease via the same route. But AI is a huge benefit to society too. I just co-chaired the working group of the Broadband Commission. We looked at how to improve adoption of AI in policymaking. It's an open goal. The basis of good policymaking, gathering data, forming an evidence base, forecasting outcomes, and analyzing different solutions directly overlaps with what AI does. For example, AI helped predict peaks in COVID infections during the pandemic and is already used to review medical scans with 99% accuracy for certain cancers. For network owners and users specifically, networks with deep AI and machine learning capability just work better. The data shows that employing AI can reduce energy usage in base stations by up to 11%, enables up to 25% faster security assurance, and can detect and resolve up to 80% of network issues automatically. And AI does all this while also supporting new services for consumers and industry. Check out the Nokia demos here today to see what that looks like in practice. But perhaps my favorite example of the power of AI comes from a recent BCG study. It showed that the vast majority of businesses who use AI, up to 97%, found that AI improved team morale, collaboration, and role clarity. So with all that at stake, how do you realize AI's huge promise as quickly and efficiently as possible? My view is that there is about three things: values, values, and values. You have all the data and technicians in the world, but unless your algorithms are value-led, then you always be playing catch-up. Let me give you a few examples. Number one, values matter because they make it less likely that you will have to unpick AI that is flawed or biased. There are well-publicized cases of HR algorithms teaching themselves that hiring men was preferable to hiring women, which takes a lot of time and a lot of money to fix. Next example, and this is very timely. Values matter because they can insulate you against energy cost inflation. AI for industry is particularly useful in energy-intensive settings such as factories, mines, and telecom networks. Say an algorithm guides you to alter a process that increases productivity by 1%, but it also increases energy usage and waste production by 5%. Suddenly the calculus is off. So your AI must have the importance of energy efficiency baked in. And finally, values matter because performance is predicated on trust. Black box AI can be fine, but by definition it asks for blind trust from its users. It's far better when engineers have the ability to look under the hood of an AI program. It's transparent and everyone likes transparency. But it also allows those engineers to tweak the underlying algorithms, making them more effective, more adaptive, and more secure depending on their specific requirements. Nokia is a values-driven company. As such, we have long and deep experience of embedding fair, sustainable, and trustworthy algorithms at the heart of our portfolio for telcos, enterprises, and web scalers. For example, our cybersecurity dome, the AVA energy efficiency solution, Nokia Digital Automation Cloud, and many more, with plenty of demos for you to try right here at Algorithm World. But today I'm delighted to launch something new. The Nokia AI Maturity Assessment, developed specifically for CSPs. Our AI experts can assess where you stand against competitors in different markets, helping to guide your own AI development, adoption, and strategy. Assessing your AI maturity gives a clear idea of your readiness for AI and allows you to avoid two of the biggest risks for AI adoption, namely either waiting too long or adapting without a strategy. The assessments are based around a framework with 8 dimensions and a further 67 sub-dimensions, covering everything from data security to customer experience. We can show which AI solutions will benefit your operations in the short, medium, and long term with a constant eye on the importance of the values I mentioned earlier. If you want to find out more, talk to one of our team members. Ladies and gentlemen, without algorithms and artificial intelligence, there is no way we can simultaneously grow and green our economies. And this event will give you a clear idea of what that means for different sectors. I have already mentioned the fantastic demos, and we also have speakers from across our business. All of the presentations will be rich in content, but I want to give a quick mention to Terry Klein, who will later today chair a panel on the impact of the metaverse on operators, and Ann Lee, who will chair tomorrow's panel on responsible algorithms for enterprise. That discussion features Betsy Ziegler, CEO of 1871, the world's largest startup incubator. And before all of that, I'm delighted to welcome Nokia's Chief Strategy and Technology Officer, Nishant Batra, to talk about our Technology Vision 2030. Thank you and enjoy the event.